After meiosis is finished happening and after sexual reproduction has occurred, we get to the end, which is fertilization. When you take two gametes, you take a sperm and an egg, and you put them together to form what's called a zygote. The zygote is a fertilized egg. Zygote is terminology that you should be aware of. You should know what the ploidy of a zygote is, meaning is it haploid or is it diploid? So you have your haploid egg with half of your chromosomes. You have your haploid sperm with half of your chromosomes. When you put those two together, you get your diploid zygote. You get your cell that has all of the chromosomes. So a quick question for you. A cell containing 40 chromatids at the beginning of meiosis would, at its completion, produce cells containing how many chromosomes? Now, this is one of those weird, sort of wordy, linguistic questions, but it's important to understand what is a chromatid and how many does it have at the beginning of meiosis. So remember, every chromatid is a copy. So if you had 40 chromatids, that means you started out with how many chromosomes? You started out with 20, right? And then you copied all of those and you wound up with 40 sister chromatids. How many chromosomes is it going to have at the end of meiosis? So let's just think about this for a second. We have a cell. It's got 40 chromatids, which means we started out with 20 chromosomes. So a diploid, one of these cells, has 20 chromosomes. How many chromosomes are we going to have at the end of that? Well, meiosis cuts the chromosome number in half, right? So we should wind up with 10 chromosomes in each and every gamete. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that everybody understood that last question and sort of like the mechanics of how it works. So if I asked it in a more simplified way, let's say we have a cell that has 8 chromatids, which looks like this. During prophase 1, how many chromosomes will the resulting gametes have? So you can see each of these portions, each of these lines represents a chromatid. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So each of these is a chromatid. Remember, each of these is a homologous chromosome. So we have 8 chromatids. How many chromosomes are the resulting gametes going to have? Again, what is a chromatid? A chromatid is just a copy of a chromosome. It's a copy of that original piece of DNA. And so this red slash here is a copy of this red slash here. And this blue slash is an exact copy of this blue slash. So let's think about this cell before it went through interphase, before it replicated its DNA. How many chromosomes did it have? It had 4 chromosomes, right? And then it copied them, leaving you with 8 chromatids. So if we started with 4 chromosomes and we undergo meiosis, how many chromosomes is each gamete going to have at the end? It's going to have half of that number. It's going to have 2. And so you really need to understand for these kinds of questions, what is a chromatid? What is a chromosome? What is a homologous chromosome? Okay, I think that's about it for meiosis. Please keep those questions coming, guys. Please keep coming to office hours and asking me questions there.